everybody, it's Jeanne B with Fun with Art. Welcome. I'm so excited about today. I've got so much stuff to show you, but first, I need to say hello to my two special little people that watch me all the time. My granddaughter Alex and my dear little friend Sebastian. Hi guys, I'm so glad you're watching. Thank you everybody for liking and sharing my videos so I can do more and more and more and more and more. This is awesome. Now you ready for this? I'm ready. Okay, so I talked about doing what's called crackle paint. You can actually buy crackle paint, but it's kind of more fun to do it yourself. So we're going to start from the beginning and we'll do it really quickly, so I got a bunch of other things I want to do for you as well. So the first thing you start off with, paint. Oh my God, what a concept, right? Whatever you want to do it on. I've done it on wood because wood, so that way it crackles better. I have not done this on canvas. You can try, let me know. But I am going to do this, I did this on wood. So the first thing I did was, you paint it. Whatever color you want, it doesn't matter. Just bear in mind that whatever color is you put down first, that's the color that is going to crackle through. So that's going to be the dominant color you're going to see. Once that is all dried, right, then comes the fun part. Then you take Mod Podge, simple old Mod Podge, and you paint this, all right? And then you put Elmer's glue, or you can use Mod Podge, both mixed together. I happen to do the Elmer's glue and the Mod Podge together, but you can do either or if you have both, use both of them. And all you do is you just brush it on the paint, right? You do not let it dry. This has to be dry first, obviously. But when you go to put the Mod Podge or the Elmer's glue, right, you don't want it to be dry before you put the white coat over it. And you're going to use chalk paint. Now, the reason I'm saying you don't want it to be dry is because you don't want it to dry first, because that's going to make the crackle when you put the other adhere on top. For instance, if I take, let's start again. I painted it. I painted it this. I used an acrylic color. Okay? Then I took my Elmer's glue or Mod Podge, whichever one you choose to use, or you can use both. Then once that was almost dry but not quite, I then took white chalk paint. Now I'll show you how you can do it with other things, but the white chalk paint seems to work the best. Now why? So when it's dry, okay, as the glue dries underneath the chalk paint, it separates it and it gives it all these crackling looks. And depending on how thick you put the paint on and how thick you put the Elmer's glue or Mod Podge on will give you different effects. So let me show you some of them. The first one is, this one I applied the Elmer's glue and the chalk paint, both. I thickly applied them. So you can see all the different cracks. It looks like wood. Pretty cool, huh? Right? This one, now, I did this one a little different way. I'm not really crazy about this one, but I'll tell you what I did. I used the same formula where I put the paint down. I did either the Elmer's glue or the Mod Podge, and then I put the top coat on. But with this one, I did not use chalk paint. I used acrylic white paint. And you can see it's a totally different look. Right in here, I don't know if the camera lady can get it, but right in here you can just about see where it's crackling. The other part came out very smooth. So you have to kind of play with this, and then you can adjust to what you like. So this one I did, and this one, what I did was, I did it the same way. I tried two things with the acrylic paint on top versus the chalk paint. I like the chalk paint better. I feel it gives it dries easier, and it gives a different look. So with this one, because when I put the acrylic paint on, there was so much paint. And when it was drying, it wasn't leaving me with any kind of cracks. So I took a sandpaper and I sandpapered it. And it gave it like a distressed look, but it's not something that I would call crackled, right? So that's how you do crackling the wood. Now I'm going to show you some other pieces that I did. Now this one, as you can see, this one's got big cracks. I did this with white on white, just for the heck of it, because I wanted to see what was going to happen. And I think it came out all right. Depends on what I want to do with it now, right? Then I took my chalk paint and I decided, you know what, I have a green bathroom, so let me do the green, right? So what I did was, let me repeat this again. You put the paint down. I used chalk paint for this one. I used green chalk paint and I painted the whole thing green. Then with this one, I used Elmer's glue, the regular school glue. And I painted it after the chalk, because chalk paint dries very quickly. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it dries really quick. Once it was dry, then I put the white, the Elmer's glue on it. And then I went back and I did white chalk paint on top. And then this is what you get. Now, what is the secret? It's just not going to dry overnight like that. Trust me, because I did that too. It's called a heat gun. I don't know if you have a blow dryer, the same thing, it's all good. But this just produces heat. And all you do is, after you've applied the first layer, you just take the heat gun and you keep going over it. And it allows the Elmer's glue or the Mod Podge underneath to dry a lot faster. And that way, this way, I like things done quickly, right? So that's why I do it. But it also allows it to dry faster. And you can actually see, if you hold it really close to it, on certain spots, like you can see here, I was able to get a bigger piece. Now, you're saying, okay, Jeannie, these are really cool, but what the heck am I going to do with them? So then you take them. Now this one has been crackled, right? And these are just adhesive stickers. Pretty cool, huh? So if you wanted, you could put someone's name up here. You could put welcome. You could put, all kinds of different sayings, whatever, thank you, however. And it makes a nice little hanging board that you can put on a wall. Now, what are these things? I found these, and I'm going to show them to you. They're really simple. I found them on Amazon, actually, and they're, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get them off because, that's just how life can be sometimes, right? When you want everything to become perfect, it just doesn't happen, and that's what is going to happen. So if I can get the little corner off, I'll show you exactly what the heck these are. So I'm going to, I should have started this at home, but I was afraid by the time I got home it would not work. So now, they're a little bit different than, like you're saying, well, it looks like a sticker. A little bit different. They're plastic appliques. So like you can cut these whatever you want. I did just this one and I just put it on a piece of wood. And then I just kind of blended it down because if you look, you can't see the plastic. And that's what makes it kind of unique. You rub them like a transfer. So let me show you. You put it down. I knew I forgot I had a tongue depressor and I forgot it. So I don't know, a lot of you are a lot younger than I am, but when I was a kid, they had these things where it was similar just to this, and they were like cartoon things, and you would take them, you would put them on the board, and then you would rub them, right, and then they would stick to it. So these are basically the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to just apply it on here like this. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these because I forgot my little tongue depressor, but you just rub it. You can even use your finger. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to use my finger because I think if I use that, it's going to tear through the plastic. And what happens is it will now stick to the wood, hopefully, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll do something, it comes out perfect, and then I get here. It's just like, doesn't work at all. So, life can be like that, right? Oh, see? What did I tell you? It is what it is, and that is enough. So now, let me see if I can show you without making a total mess. You pull this up, and hopefully it is going to adhere. I left my tongue depressor at home. but you get the gist, right, of what this is all about. And see, it's kind of cool. I mean, they come in all different kinds of ones that you can use. And I believe you can also use these on canvases, however you want. But, you know, it's pretty fun. And this way, if you look up pretty close to it, this way you don't see the difference from like normal stickers. You can see like an edge. These go so smooth to it, it looks like they're painted on. They're really pretty cool. I like them. I bought all different kinds. So when my grandkids come, I think we'll be putting these all over the place. So that'll be pretty cool. I'll let you know. So I said I wanted to show you how to do the rubbing transfers. That's what they were. I showed you how to do the crackle wood, and you can do so many different possibilities. So let me go over the crackle wood once again. You take your paint. You put your paint. You let the paint dry. Now you can use chalk paint for the base as well, or you can use acrylic. I prefer the chalk paint, but you can use, this one is acrylic. Then I paint it. I'm going to show you, I think. Then you put the white paint on. I mean, you put the Elmer's glue, or you put the Mod Podge, and you put it on. Depending on how much crackle you want, is how thick you put it on. Then you take your regular paint, you give it a few minutes, you know, not a whole lot, give it a few minutes to kind of adhere, and then you put your white paint over it, usually chalk paint. You can use acrylic, but the acrylic comes out a little bit smoother than the actual chalk paint. Then you take your heat gun, and then you just start to let it go, and it's kind of fun to watch it kind of crackle itself. I did one overnight, and it was very smooth. But this works a lot better with a heat gun. If you don't have a heat gun, a blow dryer will work. And I'm sure most of you have blow dryers. Just be careful you don't put it too close to the paint, because you don't want to get it on your blow dryer and you don't want to start a fire. But a heat gun will just kind of make it crackle really quickly. Okay, so we did that. Now the next thing I wanted to show you was, we had talked about different ways to do different types of things to make pictures. I like to paint, but I also like to be creative, and I like 3D things. For instance, let me just show you. I usually, in my painting, I'll use matte gel. I have to put this on because I lost the inside cover, and if I don't, it's going to stick and I'll never get the thing open, and it's kind of expensive, so sorry. But this is modeling paste, all right? It's a little bit thicker. And then this, of all things, this crackle, this spackling works marvelous to make different dimensions on your paintings. Yes, you can mix this with the molding mud. Yes, you can mix this with the gel. And I'm going to show you some different things that I can to allow you to see what you can actually do with them. For instance, this is spackling. That's all this is, right? And it gives a lighter texture. You can mix spackling with paint. So I did it all in white because it was just easier. But you can mix spackling, like say you want to put a couple of drops of red. However, whatever color you want, just make sure it's really mixed very well before you start to do anything with it. With this, I did this, how? I took the spackling and I just made it nice and smooth. Then I took simple old saran wrap and I just went like that. And I made it come up like that. So it gives a softer texture. Suppose you're doing a painting and you just want a little bit of texture on your moon that you just drew, right? So that's how you would do that, and you let it dry. So it does give very little texture. You can use this also for grass, like if you want to do a little bit of raised grass, you know, you do it green, or you can go back in and just dab it green, dab it red, dab it black. You don't have to actually mix the paint with it if you don't want to. It's all up to you. So that was the spackling. The next thing I did was, you want to laugh? I had to put myself notes because sometimes I forget stuff, and that's okay, right? That's how life is. Sometimes I'll go in the room and I forget what I'm going in for because my mind is busy. It's okay. So this is the paste. All right, this is the modeling paste. This is thicker. It's stronger. And it's good to, you can add color to it. I've not put, all I've added to this, I have not used chalk paint with it, so I don't know that, but I do know you can put acrylic paint with this. Now, look at that structure. Now, what would you use that for? Suppose you were painting and you just needed the side of the house. You needed a window to have panes in it, right? So what I did was I took this, it was just chicken wire. I cut a piece of chicken wire, and all I did was put it down, and I put the molding paste on it. And then I just lifted it up and let it dry. So there's just different techniques that you can use in order for you to do different things on your paintings when you're doing them. You can use this on wood, you can use this on canvas. Trust me, you can use it anywhere you want. Now, this one is the lightweight spackling, and this one I wanted to show you because I did this with foil, aluminum foil, but if you can see, they're bigger peaks. Suppose you need a topping for your mountain, and you don't want it to be flat. You want it to be a little bit 3D. So you could use this technique and put the snow on your mountain, or snow coming down. You can use this for a lot of different techniques in your painting. So these are just, all it is spackling. And then you just let it dry. And yes, you can paint this. Yes, you can add color to it as well. Now this one, I wanted you to see the difference between the sparkle and the gel. This is the sparkle. This is the gel. So this way you can see that the sparkle will give a little bit more texture to it, a little bit tighter. The gel is very, very smooth. Just like think of a gel that you put on your hair. I was a hairdresser, so we're going to use those references, sorry. And so it gives a little smoother look. Now you can use this for a side of a building. Suppose you want a little bit of stucco on your building that you're making. You're building a little fairy house, you want a little bit of stucco. So you would use the gel in your paint, and that will give it a little bit more texture, okay? So I just wanted you to see the difference on those two things. Okay, so the next thing is, how are we doing for time over there? 10 more minutes. All right, I'm going to just speed through this because we'll save the rest of the stuff for another day. That'd be good. All right, so this one gives, I did this with spackle, and I just wanted you to see the difference in molding paste. But I wanted you to see what you could do with your spatulas, and you just go like this, right? Just like you're going to do a wall, and that will give you different textures to use in your paintings. Now, I've seen some people actually do this. They make beautiful, I have done them. You make beautiful flowers out of this molding mud. You can go very smooth, and maybe next time that's what I'll do, is I'll do the flower version so you can actually see how to do them and create them yourself. This, again, is just a spackling, but I wanted you to see the difference. You can tell I like spackling, right? All right, now we're going to get into some fun stuff. Now this stuff, now I've got this, you must be saying, what the heck does she keep having in her hand, right? This is bubble wrap. And I have made different textures with the bubble wrap as well. All kinds of things, sponges, whatever you want, whatever you got hanging around the house, you can use. It's all fun. So the only thing I am going to tell you is when you wash this stuff off of your hands, when you wash it off of the things that you're using, be careful because in your sink, it will harden and you'll have, let me tell you a quick story. When my kids were younger, I didn't think, we were doing some project for school, and it was with plaster Paris. And so they made their mountain or whatever the heck they had to make, right? And so not thinking, because I'm thinking, I put hot water in the garbage disposal, I threw it the little bit left down the drain. Well, guess what? I couldn't, my sink wouldn't go down after that, and it ended up in the elbow of the sink, so it hardened. So the plumber made a lot of money, and I learned, right? So it's all good. But now, I'm going to show you something really cool that we're going to do, or you're going to do, if you want to, because it's all about choices. Now, I don't know if you can see the difference, but I had done a painting like this. This is done with rope, believe it or not. This is rope underneath here to make waves. All I did was simple rope. I cut them in pieces, and I just put them down. And then I put the molding mud mixed with the spackling together over it. But I mixed it with, obviously, with color blue. To make the big long waves, I made the rope long. I mean, it gets messy, but it's a lot of fun. So if you're trying to make an ocean and you're trying to make a wave or you're trying to make something happen, you can use the various things to allow them to work for you, like everything else, right? So use the stuff you have around you, and you'll understand, what it's all about, and you'll be able to have a lot of fun with this. And with this, so you could see the difference, I just made little peaks. So that's that. I also wanted you to see how you could just take the molding mud and just make, like, they're supposed to be roses. I don't know if they look like roses, they don't look like roses, but they were supposed to be flowers. I just wanted you to see all the different options you could do with the molded mud, the spackling and the gel. I don't use the gel a lot, as you can see, because I like a lot of texture. The gel I like for smoothing things, that's about it. And then this was just to show you the difference of how you can just go in with these and just kind of smooth it like this. So that way it's all intact. You can make it look like waves, you can make it look like the sky. You can do so many different things with the different things I brought today, so that way you have enough options to create. That's what it's all about. In this day and age, there's so much going on in the world. It's nice to be able to go and sit, and say, okay, what am I going to make today? Right now, I'm in the middle of a project. It's like 5 feet long. It's a wooden board. And I decided that I drew 2 trees on it. And one tree I actually found online, and I didn't know they had this. And I'll bring a piece in next time. It's cork, but it's colored cork. It's patterns. It's beautiful. So the tree that I drew, I am now cutting the pieces to fit the tree. So sometimes in life, we have to kind of cut corners, or we have to do things, to make things work for ourselves, and that's okay, right? And so showing you all of this, you can take this. It's simple stuff. It's inexpensive. You can get it anywhere. And then you can take it and you can go use it on your canvases. You can create, you can do all kinds of different things. And sometimes it's that space we need just to allow ourselves and allow our minds to rest. So I hope that next time I'm going to show you, we've got 5 more minutes, so hold on. I want to show you next time the difference how to paint lace. So next time, this will be good, because I don't have to think, because it's 4th of July here, and my brain hurts sometimes because we have so much going on in where I live. So next time I'm going to show you how to paint lace with oil paints and with acrylic paint, and what the difference is, and that will be a fun project to do. All of you, thank you so much for liking my page. Thank you so much for sharing this with others. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was fun. Trust me, your kids will love this. But if you do it with kids, do it outside. That way you can just hold them down. That's what I did. Have a wonderful summer, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.